Alright guys, today I wanted to make a video on why 80 FOV is actually really good as well as 120. Because a lot of people keep saying that like, oh, I'm on 80 FOV and you guys are on PC, you get 120 FOV. You guys obviously play so much better than us, and that's not really true. Yes, 120 FOV has a lot of advantages, but that doesn't mean that it's automatically better than 80 FOV. And there's a lot of pro Warzone players who actually play like 105 FOV. And some people play like 116, so not everyone plays 120. Most people don't actually, but they all have their advantages. It just depends on which advantages you want. And since you're on console, for you console players, you gotta take advantage of the things that 80 FOV gives you. So the first thing that 80 FOV gives you is that you can see people farther away. So yes, 120, you get a wider view, you can see more around you. But if you take it to 80 FOV, it's more zoomed in. And this is a lot better when you're fighting far range people. Because if I'm on 120 FOV, let's just say there's a guy right there, right? If I'm on 120 FOV, put it back up, he's going to be a lot harder to see. Because I got to look at that little spot right there. And then bring it back to 80. And then he'll be nice and clear. This is also really good like if you're using like an SMG to hit far range shots. You can do it so much easier on lower FOVs compared to higher FOVs. So this is also really good in Warzone too, because Warzone you need to see people from far away, and it can get a little hard. Like I remember when I first switched to 120 FOV, I could barely see anybody. It was like really hard, and I had to adjust to it. But 80 FOV, you have a really good advantage of seeing people far away, and it's really good at hitting long distance shots. Another thing that 80 FOV gives you is more aim assist. So I made a video on this. It's called Aiden gave me more aim assist with his FOV. So Aiden, he wasn't as Ghost Aiden when he played Fortnite. He plays 105 FOV. So this is in between 80 and 120. And what this does is he gets more room to like look around, but it's not too zoomed out. And then since he can look a little bit farther, he's able to track the people a lot easier. So if there's a guy right there, right, coming out, if I'm on 80 FOV, I'm able to track him so much easier because it's so zoomed in. And then if I'm on 120, it's more zoomed out. So tracking the guy here to here is going to be a lot harder. It's a lot harder. And then one of the other advantages you get with 80 FOV is that your screen is less blurry. So if you're like slide canceling around, let's say, you know, you're just moving around, slide canceling, your screen is a lot less blurry. You can see people a lot more clearly and farther away. So I think this is a huge advantage console players should be taking advantage of. And another thing that like, it's really weird, I don't know why they do it, but a lot of console players, they play really high sensitivity. So I guess what, I'm on 4.4 right now. They play like, I don't know, let's say they play 13. Look at this. Your screen is so blurry, you can't see people. So you look at, like, you're looking around, it's going to be harder, like, if someone pops in your face, you got to shoot them. You don't have to play 4, you can play, like, I don't know, 6, 7, but, like, if you're slide canceling around, the screen is so clear, when someone pops in your face, it's just an instant kill. So those are the main 3 things that 80 FOV brings, and they're really good, too. Like, sometimes I'm like, dang, if I'm on 80 FOV, I would have killed that guy. But 120 FOV does have its advantages. Now, let me look at the main advantages of 120 FOV. So, like I said, you can see more people. Like, if I look right here, I can see people on my left, on my right, and if they come around here. I got a huge advantage here. And I do think 120 FOV is a lot better for multiplayer. It's a little bit trickier when you put it in Warzone because, again, you gotta see people more zoomed in or else you'll get destroyed. And 120 FOV is really good for close range fights, so since it's more zoomed out, you can shoot people a lot easier. And that's why I tend to, like, if I play Warzone, I don't really snipe or anything. I just full rush close range and try to destroy everyone. On top of that, you could also turn a lot faster. So I'm on 4.4 sensitivity. This is how much I can turn. If someone, like, I don't know, if someone's coming up here, I could turn real fast and then just shoot at him. If I'm on 80 FOV, The turning is like a lot slower. Like, it's a lot slower. And this also makes your movement fast too, because if I can turn real fast, I'm on 4-4, right? I can move. I can turn really fast. Let's say I get stuck, right? Like if I'm right here, if I want to like turn around and slide cancel, I can just go like this. You know, just. And then if I want 80 FOV, to get out of that spot, I gotta be like, you see, it's like this little trick here. So, the final thing that 120 FOV really gives a huge advantage to is the visual recoil. And it also, being that the visual recoil is a lot cleaner, it also allows you to hit more shots and to be able to control the recoil a lot better. So let's just say I'm shooting at this right here, right? If I do it on 80 FOV, like this MP5 just jumps through the roof. And then if I'm on 120, same spot, it's the same thing. It literally, like, it's just that 120 FOV is like, it's zoomed out, so it's like, it's a lot easier to control the recoil. If I zoom it in, it's the same exact recoil thing. It's like, it's the same thing. It's just zoomed in. And on top of that, you have to play affected, by the way. But those are the real differences and the advantages they have over each other. I do think that 80 FOV is really good. Like, it's not, you're not good at the game just because you don't have a PC and you don't have 120 FOV. I think the main reason PCs are so good is just because they have better hardware, so they can run frames a lot higher, and you can get you can overclock your PC, which makes the input delay a lot faster. That's the thing that PC really has an advantage over console that console can't do anything about. But the FOV, that really doesn't, it doesn't really prove much. You can't really say that I'm not better than you because I don't have your FOV. That's not true. But like I said, there are a lot of pros that use 105 FOV, so it's like a nice mix in between, so they can get the advantages of 80 FOV and a little bit of the advantages of 120 at the same time. So I do think FOV is personal preference. I won't force anybody to, you know, go higher or go lower. But I guess the main purpose of this video is to not blame the FOV, and just to get used to whatever FOV you play, whether you're forced to play on 80 or whether you play on like 105 or 120. Just learn the benefits of it and try to abuse the benefits so that you can make gunfights and certain situations in your favor.